What's up, guys? Matt Artisan here from the Attractive Man Coaching Team, and let me show you where I'm at today. Beautiful Carmen, Playa del Carmen, Mexico. Can't beat that view. And today I'm gonna give you some of my best strategies for messaging girls, because you shouldn't even be texting them nowadays. No, stop texting them. There's better ways to do it than that. No more messages. No more. You want to DM them. You have to send them something, obviously, but don't send them texts, okay? Because think about it. If she's a beautiful woman, then she gets bombarded by messages from other dudes, and your message is going to get buried. So you have to stand out. You have to be unique. You have to get her to look at your message first. You need to get her to click on it. So that's step number one, which we're going to go over. And then she needs to be amused by it. It needs to stand out from everybody else, be intriguing, and provoking her to go on a date with you. So keep watching, because I'm going to help you get more women to actually click on your message and actually go on dates with you. I'm going to unload some of my best strategies. I'm going to show you what I send as the first text that almost always gets a reply. It makes them laugh. It's a way so I can get her social media and her phone number very, very easily. And I'll even give you a bonus tip that often makes girls message you first. And it's going to make them very, very excited to see you again and hang out with you again. It's going to give them fear of missing out if they don't see you as soon as possible. So make sure you watch until the end so you don't miss that bonus tip. Tip number 3. We'll go in reverse order. Tip number 3 is to use social media and SMS texting. Here's why. You want to use both of them. Some coaches say just use social media, others say just use texting, some say call. This is what you need to do. You need to use both because they both have different advantages. SMS is in a sense better for texting than social media, because she's more likely to actually look at it and see it, because most people only have close friends and family and people that are important in their lives in their contact list. Whereas on social media, whether it's Instagram, Snapchat, or Facebook, or TikTok, oftentimes it's just random people messaging you. And again, if she's an attractive woman, then she could be getting 10, 20, 30 or more messages from random dudes hitting her up every single day. So when you meet her, you should ask for both. Ask for both. Now, I know that sounds kind of redundant, but the reason you want social media is because you can stay on her mind. If you just get her phone number and it just doesn't work out, you can't get a date with her in the next couple days because you're busy, she's busy, it's going to fizzle out quickly because she can't see your pictures. She's going to forget what you look like. She can't see your life. You don't pop up on her feed. There's no feed in SMS, so it's just going to dwindle away. So you want to get her social media as well. That way she can see your posts, she can see your stories, she can see your reels, she can see your life, and you can stay on her mind, on her radar for a long time. I once met a girl, got her Facebook at the time. I don't really do too much with Facebook anymore. I use mostly Instagram nowadays. But I got her Facebook, and I didn't message her for 4 years. 4 freaking years went by, and then because I wasn't in that city for a long time. Actually, no, I think it was because I had a girlfriend at the time. Then when my girlfriend broke up, I went back to the city I met her in, and I simply sent her a message on Facebook, and she was eager to see me again. And when we met up, she's like, "Oh my God, I've seen all your travels. I've seen all these things you've done. Tell me about Egypt. Tell me about this." Because I stayed on her mind. If I would have only gotten her phone number and then messaged her 4 years later without her receiving anything from me, she probably wouldn't have had that same response, and I probably wouldn't have been able to go on a date with her. She would have been like, "This guy? Oh yeah, I kind of remember him." So it's really good for staying on the radar. Also, it's not just one-on-one. When you post something, potentially all the girls that are following you, all the people that are following you can see it. So one post can do a lot more, whereas through SMS, one thing that you send, it's only going to go to one person. So it's just more efficient to use social media as well as SMS texting. And plus, if one doesn't work, like if I'm texting a girl and she doesn't text back, I can always switch to social media and vice versa. And finally, social media is just really good for just like keeping the attraction up and even making her more attracted and more excited to see you. If you're living a cool life, you're posting your travels, your events that you're throwing or going to, just cool stuff that you're doing in your life, then she's gonna want to be a part of that. In fact, she might start getting FOMO, like feeling like she's missing out if she doesn't start hanging out with you ASAP. So it's a great way to get her more excited in you. Now, you don't wanna have the mentality that you're trying to use Instagram or social media to attract her. That's not the point. You're not like trying to create these images or these videos to win her over. Definitely don't do fake shit just to seem cool on social media. Have a cool life, do cool shit, and then women will just want to be a part of it. And so then how do you get her social media and her phone number? Do you just flat out ask for both? Well, this is what I do, whether I meet her at a bar or walking down the street, or even if it's on social media. On social media, I just ask for both. I just say, what's your Instagram and phone number? I literally just ask for both. But if it's in person, I just say, hey, do you have Instagram? Here, follow me. And I tell her to follow me because you want her to be following you. Or else, when you send her a message, she may not see it. It ends up in her spam folder, her message request folder, and then it's just buried. She's never gonna see it. So you want her to be following you. So I tell her to follow me, to take out her phone, follow me, and then I say, here, let me give you my number too. And usually they just say, okay, because it's like, no big deal. She's just taking my phone number. She's already taken my Instagram, and I tell her I'll follow her back. And then I just say, here, let me give you my phone number too. And I take her phone. She doesn't even see it. I just say, here, let me give me your phone. And I just open up her SMS app, and I send myself a message from her phone, you're so hot, dash her name. So it sounds like it's her telling me through text that she thinks I'm so hot. So when she sees that later, she's gonna crack up. And what I usually do is wait like 30 minutes or an hour, and I just text her back, gee, thanks, you're not too bad yourself. That almost always gets a reply back because it's very unique and funny, and it's just an easy way to get her social media and her phone number. Tip number 2 is send pics, videos, and voice messages. You've all heard the saying that a picture is worth 1,000 words or whatever, but it is true. Sending a couple words is not going to be as effective as sending a picture or a video. So it has to fit the context though. So you might have to experiment with that. I have a lot of examples in my texting book, Turn Her On Through Text. But what I've been using a lot is voice messages. Voice messages work great, especially on social media, because think about it. She's looking at her DMs and she sees all these messages from all these people, and she can see the first couple words. She's seeing, hey beautiful, hey baby, oh my God, what's up, all this lame stuff. And she's not even opening most of it. She's just skimming through it like garbage, garbage, garbage. And it's mostly text, and then she sees a voice message. She doesn't know what it is. All the previous messages, examples, she can see the first couple words, so she knows what it is without even clicking on it. But when she sees a voice message or a video, and I think a picture as well on Instagram DMs, she doesn't know what it is until she clicks on it. So it's already getting her to take some action. She now has to click on your message and then click on the little play button to either view the picture, video, or voice message. The great thing about voice messages instead of text, of course, is she hears your voice, your tonality. She can hear your enthusiasm, or more importantly, your confidence. Now, if you send a message and you're like, hey, hi, it's Matt. Do you remember we met on the beach a couple days ago? Yeah, she's gonna delete you, block you probably. But the good thing is you can redo it before she hears it. Okay, just delete that shit and do it again if you sound that bad. Avoid ums or uhs, no filler words whatsoever. Pauses are fine, they make you sound confident. And when you talk like this close to your phone, you don't have to be loud, but you still sound very loud. And I don't know what it is, but something about putting your mouth near a phone makes it's like instinctually makes you speak lower, in like a lower voice, a more seductive tone. So I can be like, hey, what's up? It's Matt. We met at the beach yesterday. Crazy thing that happened right after we met. I have to tell you about it. Hit me up. Something like that. I just made that up. That's not even the best message, but just the first thing that came to my mind. But something like that will work. Again, you're going to stand out from everybody else. Your voice potentially can turn her on. At the very least, it'll hopefully show some confidence. And she's more likely to send you a voice message back to reciprocate, which means she's putting in a lot more effort than she does with other guys that are just texting her. It takes a little bit more effort. It really doesn't take any more effort if you think about it, but it seems like it does. It's like, oh, I'm speaking instead of just doing this. So speaking is more effort. So in a sense, it's gonna make her feel more invested in your conversation versus these other guys she's just doing this with. All right, the final tip number 1, and I think I'm gonna still give you the bonus tip, so stick around. The bonus tip is really good. It's one of my favorites. Tip number 1 is call her. Call her, but do not just pick up the phone and call her out of the blue. That's weird. I remember somebody did that with this girl I was hanging out with, and she's like, oh my God, this guy's calling me. Is he like a psycho or something? Like, who does that? Nobody does that nowadays. In fact, there was a scene in a movie where they had a one-night stand, and the next day he calls her, and she's like, what the heck? Why is this guy calling me? What a psycho.
Oh my God, he's calling. Why would he call? You guys just had sex.
So I don't recommend just calling her out of the blue. What I do recommend, though, is setting up a phone call. Just be texting her or voice messages or whatever back and forth. You're a busy guy, though, so you need to end it first. Don't just keep going on and on. You end the interaction first and just say, hey, I need to get back to such and such. I need to go to the gym. I need to get back to work, whatever. How about I call you later? Are you going to be free at around 8 o'clock? And she'll either say yes, no. And if she says no, obviously don't call her. But if she says yes or gives you a different time, then call her. That's going to set you apart from everybody else. And all you need to do is have a quick 5-minute phone call. Don't drag it on and on. Again, end it first. You're a busy guy. You are on your path, your mission, your purpose. Just talk to her for a little bit, set up the date, and hang up the phone. That's it. Trust me, just a 5-minute phone conversation gives you enough time for her to really sense who you are, especially if you just met her off the internet, like if you met her on Instagram or on Tinder or something like that. She doesn't have much of a sense of who you really are except for your pictures and hopefully some videos that you're posting. So if you're trying to get on a date with her, it is a good idea to have a quick 5-minute phone call with her. She's much more likely to actually show up on the date because it will build enough of a connection. You can go longer. You can have a 10, 20-minute conversation if you want, but just don't drag it on too long. Save the really deep, intimate conversation for the actual face-to-face date. Now, here's the bonus tip. If she doesn't say yes to a one-on-one date with you, and some girls won't because their attraction just is medium, it's just not that high. Maybe she has lots and lots of options, so she's just not sure about you yet. Maybe she's kind of dating somebody and she wants to see how that goes first, so she doesn't want to say yes to a one-on-one date with you. Or maybe she doesn't even go on one-on-one dates. I know girls that do not go on one-on-one dates. They only meet guys through their social circles. So here's what you do. You just invite her on a group date. Essentially just a small event. It could be a party at your house, it could be bar hopping, it could be hiking, it could be just whatever you like to do. Invite her to that. Invite a lot of girls to that. All the girls that aren't showing up to your one-on-one dates, that are either ghosting you or just seem reluctant to meet you one-on-one, invite them to some sort of group event. And tell her to bring friends so that she feels more comfortable coming, so she doesn't feel like pressure that she has to come by herself. Think about it. If she brings a friend, she's much more likely to actually show up because there's a lot less pressure on her. You know, and she can, if it's awkward or something, she can just talk to her friend. Plus, if you and her don't hit it off, maybe you and her friend will hit it off. And you'll just have more women at your event, your party, whatever it is. And if she doesn't come, you're gonna take videos and pictures, and then you're gonna post that shit the next day. And guess what? FOMO starts kicking in. She sees it and she's like, oh man, I should have went to that thing. That looks really fun. And she's much more likely to go next time. This works really well. But here's the truth, and this is the last thing I'll say. This isn't gonna work if you're full of insecurity, doubt, shame. You're not a cool, confident, fun, outgoing guy. You don't need to be, you know, the life of the party, but you can't be this weird, awkward, insecure guy who's like Mr. Nice Guy trying to please everybody. So I'm gonna help you with that. You can download my book, and it'll help you become the best, most attractive version of yourself. It'll show you what to do and what to say, but more importantly, how to be as a man, to become the best, most attractive, confident version of yourself, so that you can attract women easily and effortlessly within seconds of meeting them and connect with them on a deep emotional level. Because men and women communicate very differently. You need to know how to communicate with them the right way, so that you don't run out of things to say and make it super awkward and weird. So download my book, man. There's a link down in the description, and I think to the right of the screen in just a second. Check it out, man. It's really good, and I would love to know what you think about it. My name's Matt Artisan from the Attractive Man team, and hopefully I'll see you at a boot camp soon. Maybe here in Playa del Carmen.